So kids, this is what happens when you buy a Ford.
Hey, fuck you. Says the guy with the rotary. Let alone fingers.
No, bees don't have pants. Hence why my shirt is funny. And we're rolling.
Are we?
So we have an inside joke that people didn't even hear their setup
Doesn't
to.
matter. We have like 3 listeners, and
We have three listeners.
two of them are us.
Yeah, we have like 50 views, and most of them are.
Yeah, actually, a bunch of my buddies actually end up listening to it for some reason.
Yeah. Well, it's quality entertainment at an affordable price.
One of those is true.
So, welcome to episode 5, I believe.
Hey, lost count. I guess that's a good sign.
Yeah, episode 5. The Jeremy accident special.
Yeah.
We're getting a ratings boost because of this.
Actually, that's a good idea. I'm going to talk about it and pour it out.
There you go. But yeah, so welcome to this week's episode. We had a bit of a hiatus due to many different stuffs, and but we are back. So,
but yet me going to the emergency room doesn't call for one.
Good point. But clearly you're okay, and we're all happy. So tell us what the hell happened.
So I'm going to start off with the Big Bang.
So wait, it's Friday, so it was on Wednesday.
Yes, it was Wednesday. Long of the short, Wednesday night is the drags at the Autodrome. It was supposed to be actually a huge night. It was ladies' night, and yeah,
it's a lady.
But yeah, basically, so there's going to be probably a bunch of people coming out and this and that, and so. But as usual, I always get to the track really early to avoid the lineup, so I can basically just drive on through. And I decided to take my truck, which is, for people who don't know, a V8 swapped Ford Ranger. And I've been having overheating issues, not really overheating issues, just where it would get slightly hotter than I would want it to. Anyways, get to the track, pop the hood, just for the hell of it. Like, the truck wasn't overheating at all, but I had basically half hour to kill, so I popped the hood and I start looking around.
Poking around.
Actually, no, that's actually the worst thing is I didn't touch anything. I forget what I was looking at, but then I noticed that my lower radiator hose was dripping a little bit, but not excessive, just like sort of like a little moisture around it. And but whatever. And I was looking at around other things, and I'm like, all right. So I basically moved my face to the basically driver's side of the truck to look at that radiator hose. And basically, literally the split second that I did, I didn't touch the hose. Wasn't close to the hose. Literally, the split second that I moved my face, it burst in my face. Jesus. And the hose is it's the lower hose, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is that,
so it was the lower hose.
The lower
hose.
So
you were like really in there.
No, not even.
No.
I was like, let's say, I was standing. I wasn't leaning over it. I was literally. Okay. Let's say I was leaning over where the battery is. Okay. So maybe only like half a foot in.
But it's still pretty your lower hose is still pretty far away from your face at that.
Yeah, but you figure it's level. Also super, super pressurized, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And actually, when it happened, I didn't even know what happened because I didn't know if it was the radiator cap that blew. I didn't know if it was like a hose that popped or something else that went go. Yeah. And luckily, I had a rag in the truck, and I was able to wipe my face down because it literally went in my face, in my eyes, like. Right in the moneymaker.
And you weren't wearing your glasses or anything? Or
no.
Glasses now?
Yeah, no, I had taken them off. And yeah, basically, like, when it happened, obviously, my phone went flying, and I got covered in Prestone, and, this
Where
is
exactly were you? Were you on the track?
Luckily, no. I was parked, like, in the road course area, but, like, right off into the side.
Okay.
So luckily, because actually that was one of the first things I went, oh, no, I'm ruining the freaking racetrack. But anyways, I ended up running to the bathroom, and I saw one of the guys that works there, and he was able to turn the lights on to the bathroom for me because it was like, again,
so you weren't able to see at that point. You were just
I was able to see, but it was vague. Yeah. But yeah, I ran to the bathroom, washed my face out with tons of water, and then used the rag and basically was dousing myself. And then one of the owners got me ice. Yeah. And the thing is that since it was an event night, they had medics that were gonna show up.
Yeah.
So I basically waited for the medics to show up.
Okay.
And yeah, when he finally did, it took a little longer for him to get there again because of all the damn traffic from everybody showing up.
Yeah.
This is actually really good because he was able to check me out and rinse my eyes out with some crazy solution, which was, super fun, trying to keep your eyes open while he's spraying crap in them.
Well, I guess that's one of the things that they must be trained for, right?
Yeah.
Track EMT.
Exactly.
Prestone everywhere,
yeah.
right?
So he was able to do that and then clean my face down with some weird stuff. But he's like, no, you need to get to the emergency room. Yeah, so sure. I called my fiance and I actually already told her beforehand what happened, so she was obviously already in a panic. But I called her to tell her to come get me because I need to go to the hospital. And
they're not equipped to just rush you there themselves, because
it wasn't
would rush you up the hill to an ambulance if anything.
But that's the thing. I mean, technically they could have, but the thing is that the event really didn't start yet, and it wasn't, I guess, that serious, or I don't know. Okay. Because he suggested he basically checked me out and he said, you should go get your eyes checked out to make sure that they're okay and this and that. So yeah. So I called Vanessa. And,
so you were functioning. You weren't in agony.
Oh no, it was.
I imagine you were in agony, but you were functional. You clearly.
But I think it was also more the
but
I think it was more the adrenaline.
Yeah, for sure.
Because honestly, I haven't had pain like that in freaking years, and I've skateboarding and falling downstairs and stuff, and this is again
anything.
Basically what the medic said, and then the I'll get to this later, but the doctor confirmed too that I have first and second degree burns.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And on your face. So
Yeah.
But yeah, and basically what ended up happening is that obviously when I when I was waiting for my girlfriend to come pick me up, I went back to the truck to get some of the stuff that my camera bag and because I didn't want to leave that there.
Yeah, sure.
And I ended up looking and noticing that the freaking radiator hose actually split.
Yeah.
In the middle ish, but the thing is, it didn't split on the top of it. It didn't split on the bottom. It literally split to the left hand side, to where I was freaking standing.
Yeah, that's freaking nuts.
Yeah,
man.
so weird. Literally split to exactly where my face was.
Yeah. Wow.
And when it happened, it's crazy because it's like getting punched in the face because it was it was at that point the truck's temps was probably at 210.
Yeah.
I mean, lower radiator hose, maybe it was a little cooler, hopefully, but
yeah,
that's
crazy.
Yeah,
that's
so. Yeah, and then obviously
your truck was trying to tell you something.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, change that hose, I guess.
Yeah. And it's crazy because that was the first thing that you told me when we opened up the hood of the RX-7. You're like, you're gonna have to change all those hoses.
Yeah, I know.
That's the first thing I thought of yesterday.
It's true, actually.
Yeah. This guy tells me to change all my hoses.
Mind you, and things I thought that hose had been changed, but turns out it wasn't.
No,
because the problem is again with
came
my
with
swap. But again, the problem with my swap is not every hose that you ordered for, let's say, a Mustang will actually fit. So we had to basically take the one that was there and modify it.
Okay.
When I got the new rad.
My God.
But yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I'll have to bring it to the shop this next week, and we'll figure it all out. Because I'm fed up with dicking around with little stuff. So. But so then after when Vanessa came and got me, she rushed me as fast as her little Echo could to the hospital.
Yeah.
And it was sort of funny because I was in tons of pain.
Yeah.
But waiting in the triage.
Yeah. The
whatever it's called. Yeah.
The place where everyone in St-Eustache Hospital goes to wait for.
Exactly.
72 hours.
But that's the thing is that there's only I think 2 or 3 people before me for the triage.
Okay. Yeah, the triage is usually pretty quick.
It's super quick, right?
The rest is the other.
But that's the thing is that the lady was talking to me and I explained to her what happened. And she's like, okay. She's like, okay, yeah. She's like, and then she's actually the one who did a pH test on my eyes, which was tons of fun because she basically had to swab my eyeball with a thingy.
Man, eyes.
Yeah, and that was the whole thing, Luckily that turned out okay, and then she's like, all right. She's like, well, we'll figure stuff out there. She's basically had to talk to poison control or whatever their department is.
Yeah.
And then she was gonna basically have to go do my hospital card.
Yeah.
And as I'm doing that hospital card, wasn't even done the hospital card yet. And she comes and she's like, was the Prestone hot? I'm like, yeah, it was out of the freaking motor, She's like, oh, okay. She basically went she's on the phone, I think, right away.
Yeah.
And literally the split second, as soon as I was done doing done doing my hospital card, they called me in.
Yeah.
So
And the doctor saw you right there?
Yeah, it took
Wow.
maybe 5 minutes for the doctor to come in, and I got seen right away.
That's crazy.
And she did a
eyeball cleanse.
Yeah, no, not even. She basically just checked my eyeball out with. She had to put some crazy yellow drops in my eyes.
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that when we go to
Yeah.
the optometrist. Yeah, because it dilates your pupil,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
I can't stand that. I could take dentist stuff,
Yeah.
like scaling and everything like that. I could take that pain, but put something in my eye.
Yeah, I don't. It's funny. I usually
but
hate.
that feeling
I usually
is-
can't stand it either. But I was like, just do
Well,
it.
at that point,
Yeah, I was like, I don't care,
Your
man.
adrenaline
Yeah.
kicks in, and
And yeah, anyway, so luckily my corneas checked out. My pupils, like all my eyes, checked out.
yeah,
And then she checked out the burn. She's like, yeah, first and second degree.
Yeah.
She's like, but it's sort of funny. She's like, oh, there's really not much I can do. Like I thought she was gonna bandage me up, and
yeah. There's not much.
but
yeah,
again, I think also the area too.
yeah,
It's not they have to bandage up my over my eyes.
yeah.
So
It's kind of difficult.
so they ended up giving me some morphine and some stuff to take the pain away, which was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
And they gave me a prescription.
Take 2 of these and drive home.
Yeah, Gilno gave me a prescription for more drugs,
Yeah.
and like also like vitamin D and this and that. And actually, when I got home, it was pretty bad too. She basically had to douse my face in like a cold bucket of water.
Yeah.
Is
Is that what they said? Yeah.
Yeah.
To do?
Yeah, because
'Cause
basically what happens is that it's the oxygen, right? So
Yeah.
with your body part or your skin and the oxygen, it cuts it off, right?
Yeah.
So, but then also what I think was something that I've been doing myself is putting on aloe vera, like aloe cream stuff, and that works really good. So I've been doing that.
Yeah. When I burnt my my finger. So stupid. I had a vegetable tray with like a all steel or whatever.
I'm like, oh, I'll grab it.
And I pick it up with my hands like an idiot. And then I was at my parents' and they had like an aloe type thing, and it worked really well.
That was amazing. I'm sorry that the doctors didn't say to use that stuff, but
Yeah.
I've been using that and it's great. And I put that vitamin D stuff on at nighttime.
Yeah.
Because it's actually an oil. So
Yeah.
basically, if I go out with it during the day, it'll burn me even more.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing I have to worry about now is being out in the sun.
Yeah. Well, now it looks like it's scabbed up, so
Yeah.
I imagine the pain is a lot less now. Because usually when you scab
Honestly,
up, it gets
like
a little
that.
better.
What's funny too is that like I got a prescription for I got morphine and I got like other sort of like there's sort of like Tylenols, but like a little more potent, I guess.
Yeah.
And she told me, she's like, oh, like it's gonna be painful. You can take these, and if it's really bad, well, then you take the morphine.
Yeah.
And honestly, I haven't had. It's been fine. So
yeah. Once it
got
scabs
really lucky.
over like that, it's
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
yeah.
So, but anyways, and then it was sort of funny because again, she tells me to stay out of the sun for when I can't do because I work outside.
Yeah.
And then also she's like, I'm gonna write you up un arrêt de travail for like I think 2 weeks, and I was like, I can't. I'm self-employed. She's like, oh.
But I wonder if you could do something with like unemployment, or I guess not, Because even what about do you have Blue Cross or something? Or
No,
you might be
not
able
yet.
to do something.
We're actually supposed to get Blue Cross this year, but
Did you get Did you get the note anyways?
No.
No.
I figured, fuck it, it's not worth it.
Because I wonder if there's some kind of.
Yeah, honestly, there should be because
there should be. Well, it's not exactly unemployment because you're not. I don't know. Yeah, if we're looking.
There should be something for self-employed people because there's a billion people out there that are self-employed, and if they get hurt, well, what are they supposed to do?
Well, yeah, that's where it's complicated. That's where you need private insurance and stuff like that.
True.
But
and again, that's probably what I'm supposed to be doing anyways. But yeah. So
that's crazy.
Cream up the face and have my old man glasses, and and I have to wear I wear the floppy hat out anyways when it's sunny. So
the what?
My floppy hat.
Oh right, yeah.
Safari hat. So. But
that's crazy, man. Glad you're okay.
Thank you.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it was funny because I hadn't been to the hospital, let alone the emergency room, in like 20-something years, right? So it was definitely an interesting experience, especially just like again, I'm a photographer and having my eyes, doused with boiling Prestone. Yeah. So yeah,
like I can imagine the pain. I stupidly did. We had no. It was actually the weekend, the week following our wedding. We kind of did a trip down the coast.
Yep.
And we had to open a bottle of wine at a hotel. We didn't have a corkscrew. It was like a motel in Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
And it was late. The office was closed, so we didn't really have any choice. So there is a trick to push the cork into the bottle.
Yeah.
With any kind of blunt object.
Yeah.
And when you do that, the pressure is
It'll shoot it
the
back
same.
out.
Yeah, it shot it right into my eyes, and that hurts like crazy. Like alcohol, first of all, in your eyes, and it's wine, so you have like the sugars and everything, and
grapes.
Man, that hurt like crazy.
And again, you're also getting
like
a freaking
crazy
corkscrew. Did you get the cork in the eye too, or is it mainly just
no?
luckily?
It was the wine that came up.
Okay,
Yeah.
Luckily, because I figured because sometimes I've seen it where like it forces the corkscrew back out, the cork back out.
No, it didn't go back out. No, it was just the liquid.
Okay,
but yeah, you can when you do that, you have to cover it with like a tea towel.
Now
or
you know.
something like that. Now I know. But yeah, no, so that that kind of eye pain.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine scalding Prestone.
And again, like it still hurts every time I blink because my eyelids are sort of like around the eyelids, I guess. So every time I blink, it sort of.
Well, I mean, it's all your skin, right? So it's everything stretches, right?
Yeah.
You have so many muscles in your face, right? That
I guess it's more uncomfortable than painful. So it's not the end of the world. Yeah.
So needless to say, I guess you missed the drags.
Yeah, no, and that's it's funny. That was the worst part. Like I was like,
that was the worst part.
I was like, man, no, because when I was leaving, there was a bunch of drag cars that were showing up.
Yeah,
Zilla Motorsports were there testing, and it's like,
you're there,
really? Like,
your eyes half closed, like
both closed because I had to freaking cover both my face, and then the worst was waiting for Vanessa to come pick me up. So I'm sitting on the outside of the track, like on the little road there, right?
Yeah,
and I just hear like, freaking all the cars running, all the crazy cars running, and I was like, why do I have to be blind?
And so you left the truck there, I guess. And
the truck is.
Is it still there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not on their track. It's left it at my friend's shop. That's there. Yeah. But yeah, I'm probably gonna have to tow it this week to my buddy's garage, EV Fabrication. A plug. Maybe he can give me some free work. He'll never listen to this, so it doesn't make a difference.
Maybe he will for this.
No, he doesn't even want to come to my house. He says it's too far.
Oh my god.
He says he has to take a plane to get there.
That's what a lot of people say about the north, the North Shore.
Yeah.
Well, that's crazy, man. That's and the fact that it's such a freak accident and it was directed directly at you.
Yeah, no.
Which is,
and you figure, and I went and worked last night.
And what?
Yeah. I went back to the track last night to shoot the tracks.
Oh, you went back to the scene of the crime.
Yeah.
Faced your fears and
face my fears.
Yeah. You didn't have any panic attacks or anything.
No.
Rolling on the ground.
No.
Yeah, no, that's nuts. And
it's funny because like this whole not last winter, the winter before, when I was having issues with my Forester overheating, and that was actual overheating where like the overflow would fill up, and I'd have to actually crack the rad when it was still pressurized, and like, but like that. The thing is that I was never worried about because I sort of knew that it was gonna go, so I had a whole like system down where basically, again, this is winter, so I had my winter jacket and gloves on, and I'd be able to like have the hood closed over my arm and just gently open the thing to release the pressure.
Yeah.
And again, obviously, most of the fluid was out of it anyways because it had overflowed into the overflow tank. But but this was literally like I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, no.
It's one thing for if you're an idiot and you go to some people go to pop the freaking rad cap. Well, you should probably expect it, but this literally was like out of the blue.
Yeah. No, that's
murderous.
That's
Rad hose.
Murderous car.
Yeah. No, it's just a rad hose.
Yeah, you're not blaming the car.
No, it's not
just the rad hose.
It's that car. It's that damn rad hose.
Yeah.
So,
well,
how are you?
Yeah, no, that's crazy. I'm fine. I'm okay. Yeah, no, that's wild. But no, yeah, could always be worse, right? So.
Yeah, well, again, like I could have lost an eye. I could have been totally blind. I could have been burnt even worse. Like, luckily, it's. Well, I guess it's sort of bad considering where I am burned. Like, if it could have been higher or lower, it probably would have been better. But whatever.
Yeah. And why weren't you wearing your glasses? You just wear your glasses. I thought you wore them to drive, though.
No.
No.
I had my sunglasses on, and I think I'd just taken them off for some odd reason.
Hood because you can't see anything.
Yeah, exactly. Most likely.
Yeah. Wow.
Mistake.
So you just use them to drive at night? Because
Yeah.
I wonder how much the glasses
Yeah.
would. Because my glasses have saved me a few times.
Yeah.
Just random stuff happening, and it
But
hits
that's-
my glasses.
Yeah.
Like, working on something, and then
Yeah.
boom, and it's like, oh man, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Like. So,
Yeah, well,
but it's hard to
thing
say
is,
with
like, 'cause
liquid.
also,
It could
like,
go everywhere, right?
And the thing is, my glasses are for astigmatism versus, so it doesn't really affect me during the day.
yeah, so you're not gonna.
Which was actually fun. Another funny thing is that obviously I had to do an eye test.
Yeah.
To prove what I can see, and I was like, I don't have, like, she's like, I'm like, I need glasses, and she's like, well, where are they? I'm like, I don't have them with me, you know?
Yeah. Where were they?
I don't know. I don't bring them with me.
Okay, at all. Okay.
I mean, I usually need them at nighttime or
Yeah.
when I'm tired, and just driving home from the track. I mean, whatever. I don't really bring them, risk losing them or breaking them more than they are already broken.
Yeah. So they have they have the whole eye test.
Yeah.
Thing there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yet I was able to basically do it no problem.
Yeah.
Until like, whatever, they have like a sort of line, like a buffer line. I basically got to there, and I was like, and the thing is that, I probably could have done better on that eye test, except that my eyes were burning so damn much, and I kept having to close them. And
Yeah, well, it's just
with my
normal.
astigmatism, since it doesn't want to focus, every time I close it has to refocus. And
Yeah.
I need
Your eyes are like Canon.
yeah, exactly.
Cameras.
They keep hunting. Our old Nikon lenses.
Yeah. 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 Like my 50.
85.
Yeah, and the 85. My God. Well, that's.
So yeah,
Yeah.
life
that's
of
crazy.
me.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Well. Speaking of Canon, did you see the Canon armory
I know,
for
it's
the
retarded.
Olympics?
Yeah,
How crazy!
but I'm sure
is that?
Nikon has that too.
Yeah, I'm sure they. Well, this is more. This was Getty's armory actually,
Oh, okay.
it was
I didn't
Getty's
really
armory.
read about that.
and I guess they're mostly Canon
Yeah.
clearly because it's a
Yeah,
room
clearly.
full of.
It's retarded. Imagine all,
so
like
crazy.
just think all that money. And
Yeah,
all that,
I think,
all that money to ship and
yeah.
like all those Pelican cases most likely. And
Yeah, no, it's just tons of tons and tons and tons of gear, which is I hope they have crazy security there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Seriously.
you're also hearing about a lot of weird stuff going on in Rio with already people getting mugged and it's a rough part of the world. So
Yeah, I'm surprised that they're honestly.
a lot of I don't know a lot of the details and the logistics. I have heard that it's quite the corrupt slash.
Well, that's the thing,
rough.
and it's like, and I've heard of Rio being like, the touristy areas are great, but most of the Olympic-y stuff isn't there.
No,
That's
well,
the
like
thing.
in every Olympics, right?
Yeah,
it's always out in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly.
and-
So, it's like, I don't know.
It's sad. I hope no one gets sick either. Did you see where the swimming, where
Yeah,
all
no,
the water
yeah.
sports
Yeah,
and
'cause
that
it's because they
bay?
have.
I
It's
forget
because they
what the
have
bay's
no.
called, but
They have no filtration. It just goes
yeah, I
straight
know,
into the
but
water.
it's just a garbage. It's like a
But
dump
exactly, yeah.
and fill it with water. And
Yeah.
that's what some of
Yeah.
the images look like.
Yeah, I know.
And they were doing a bunch of tests yesterday. Like independent labs were doing tests, and it's like 200 times the.
Oh my god.
I think it's like 200 times over the limit that would be unswimmable in the U.S. Like based on their.
They should
there's
have like a new sport where
200
people try to
times
like
the-
run across the water.
It's so weird. And yeah, it's hard to.
But like of all
It's hard to
places,
say
Rio-
why anyone would kind of put themselves in that.
especially
kind of
if you're
danger, you know?
especially if you're technically if you're going to the Olympics, you're at the top of your game, right?
Yeah.
Why would you go swim in a cesspool?
Yeah, no, it's craziness.
I
don't know what to think about that.
Or
But-
why would I know it's
Yeah, no,
it's,
wish
and
them.
it's sort of weird again that they even have it in Rio. Like I mean, it's
always then look at the Olympics are under tons of scrutiny right now for all the
exactly corruption
all the
and stuff.
corruption that was going on. So who knows what's going on? What kind of backdoor deals people are doing to get the games?
Yeah.
And but they cost a fortune. They run the countries into debt. And
which is exactly.
we're probably still paying for our Olympics.
Well, we are.
You know?
Have you seen the Olympic Stadium?
We have the Big O to prove to show for it.
To keep from falling over.
Yeah, but no, I wish them well, and
I know.
I hope.
Hopefully nothing goes wrong.
Yeah, because that's.
But they can. But Canon USA, you can send all your old gear to us.
Yeah, all your that would be.
We will
Getty,
gladly. It doesn't matter. We can gladly switch to Canon for you guys.
Yeah.
When you hear this podcast, which you never will.
Yeah. No. Maybe. Who
Maybe.
knows? Did you see the E005 preview?
No, I have not.
No. Okay.
I've been in the hospital.
Yeah,
That's gonna be my go-to line.
Well, it's not really a preview; is a leak, I guess you can call it. But it looks interesting. I've been debating on getting a GoPro.
Fondling the idea of a action camera.
Yeah, well, and I know we want to take this show on the road too eventually, and so I've been kind of toying with the idea of getting a GoPro to test it out, try it out. So I've been reading a lot of reviews and stuff like that. But now I don't know if I should just wait for the E005 because it looks like it might be right around the corner.
But maybe you could just get the E004 for a lot cheaper.
Well, already it's, there's some places
because the E004 is great, right? So
yeah,
I mean,
it's I think you could get it
especially for what we're gonna need it for, and then what you're also gonna need it for like kid stuff.
It's oops. I'm just showing Jeremy it now for those of you. For all of you who can't see us. For all of you,
go to the link and watch it as we watch it.
Yeah. But no, it's literally a 9-second video that they come up with. But I think the main thing that I would want to wait for is better battery life. Because right now it's like at an hour 15,
really,
hour 30. And here they're apparently who knows, right? Because it's all rumors. But they're talking about like really, really great battery life. Because I agree with you. Image quality, it's not going to be huge.
But batteries is a pretty big difference.
Yeah. And people are rumoring 8K, which...
Again, who cares?
We don't even have the storage for that, you know? So, but battery life would be interesting.
Yeah, battery life is good.
And apparently it's going to be cheaper than the Hero Silver.
Really?
Than the Hero 4s right now. It's going to be like $400. Well, which is probably going to be around the same.
Yeah.
Because here in Canada.
Yeah, Canada.
We have everything's, 20-30% more because of the exchange. But, so I don't know. I might wait. I might just go ahead and buy it. But I like the Session, so you get... The
Session is cool.
If we're talking like tax-in prices,
the Session's how much again?
You could get the Session for $300 tax-in. And the Hero 4 Silver is $500 tax-in.
Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty... $200 is a good amount of difference.
And the Session, you lose a lot of features. It's really kind of a...
Yeah, it's bare bones.
Touch and go camera, literally, like touch the button, go.
But again, but the Session has the app, right? So you can control a lot through that.
Yeah, I just hate apps. Like I hate the connect. Like, and maybe it's just because I've had so many problems with Nikon's
really
app. I've had tons of problems.
Really, mine works great.
I've had tons of problems connecting both like my tablet and my phone to it.
Weird, mine works really good.
And I don't know. I'll have to look into it. I haven't checked it in a while, but I just don't like. And I like to be able to have an LCD at the back to frame up the shot, not have to go for the phone just to frame the shot. True. Mind you, it's a pretty wide angle. You can kind of set it anyways, but image quality is a lot worse than the Hero 4 Silver.
Yes, but I've seen videos from them and they look fine.
Yeah, with some work.
Yeah, true.
But do you want to start grading?
I guess. Yeah.
Do you want to start grading all your footage just because you want it to?
I guess it depends on what the outcome you want to be. I mean, like. I'm probably pretty sure that my GVC action camera, the footage that comes out of it isn't that great, but for what I want it's fine,
Yeah. We should try it. Maybe let's do that next week. Okay. We'll try your JVC action cam. Okay. What's the max recording time?
I've never tried. So
is there a maximum? Probably not.
Maybe. Probably not.
We
can even try my GoPro Wide. Ooh.
I thought it was broken.
No, my GoPro HD is broken.
You have 2 GoPros already?
Yeah.
What's the GoPro Wide?
It's the original one that's not HD.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Hold on.
It's really not that good.
So it's like 720p or something?
I
I'm
guess
looking it up right now.
It's like the original GoPro.
This one?
No, it's not HD.
It's like China.
We could bring it just for the hell of it.
Yeah. Well, we could maybe... Do you have suction cups? Yeah.
Yeah.
With the mounts and everything? So maybe let's try that. We'll do like 2.
Because worst case, because the real crappy part about the GoPro Wide, I think, was the sound out of it. So if you use sound from something else, from this.
Well, I would use the Zoom.
Exactly. No, but that's exactly.
Yeah,
so
for sure use that. But yeah, we just have to figure out mic situation. But if we can maybe mount the Zoom on the windshield too, or something, or on the dashboard, we should get decent sound out of it too.
I'll bring all my suction cups and we'll just figure it out. Is there a tripod socket on that thing?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Or whatever socket.
Touch it. Yeah, there's a tripod socket.
Okay.
So
I can use my magic arm and just even clamp it to something if we had to.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'd like to do that, and I think it'll be easier because like we're in my office right now, and it's very, crammed in here, and it's not easy to get kind of lighting in here either and stuff like that. So, but we would like to make a video, podcast of this show. So that could be an idea. We just have to find some cars. We need to find a car sponsor.
Yeah.
But once we get the cars running, we can use those.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's my GoPro update.
GoPro update of the week.
We're talking. And speaking of other things, the DJI Phantom 4.
Did you? Yeah.
Came down in price again.
Ooh.
Well, again, but it came down like $200 roughly.
That's
a little
good.
under $200. They've slashed the price again.
Not shabby.
It's crazy. It was $18.89. Now it's $16.19.
So
It's
not
crazy.
bad.
Yeah. Soon you're gonna get a drone, like a really decent drone, for like $500.
Yeah.
In like a few years.
That's crazy.
Because when did the first Phantom came out? What, 3 years ago? Maybe
Yeah.
2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
The like Phantom 1 and the Phantom Vision and stuff like that. That wasn't too long ago.
No.
So this drone technology is really blowing.
Because
up.
honestly, there's nothing to them.
No. Yeah.
In terms of like the whole remote controlledness, there's literally nothing to them.
Well, it's as we go, right? As we progress, technology is just getting smaller and smaller. Everything's getting lighter and lighter.
But not only that, it's
cram
like,
stuff into.
If you compare it to, let's say, to a remote control helicopter where there's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
I mean, a drone has it too, but like, it's literally like a motor, and then it's branched off to the propellers, and that's basically it. You have the gimbal, but that's
nothing to it.
Yeah.
And the fact that the cameras are so small now too, and sensors.
Yeah. Are good.
You could cram. Yeah, sensors are amazing.
Yeah.
And you could cram a whole lot of technology in a very light. Little piece. So, no, it's pretty insane.
So how was your work week?
It's just been busy with editing. My weddings now start this month, so I have this weekend off, and then I have basically a wedding. Yeah, we'll have stuff to talk about. I'll have a wedding pretty much every weekend for the next 2 months.
Oh, we should do a podcast from one of the weddings.
No.
Like, excuse me, brides. We gotta do this for an hour.
Yeah, kudos to some of the photographers that managed to do like Jerry Guionis. I love his website. He does a lot of like educational stuff, and he lapels himself, and he has normally his wife or someone else kind of behind the scenes
just
videoing, and
cool.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy how because I'm so focused during a wedding day that I can't imagine, but he doesn't. It's not part of the.
So it's really behind the scenes.
He's never looking at the camera. Yeah,
that's fine.
It's
though.
just
That's
they're listening.
Cool.
Yeah, that I might be able to do, but even then, it's.
But then you still need another person. You still need to edit it. So it's a whole other.
Yeah, it becomes a bit of a production, But
and it's funny because I've been asked like for people to film me behind the scenes and this and that, and for one, I don't find what I do is special, and two, if I screw up, I'd rather not people film, or anything like. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, especially like car racing,
Well, car racing could be neat, but I'm saying for like a shoot, let's say.
Yeah, like a shoot.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, me neither. I wouldn't see the appeal of just watching me go through a wedding day, and I wouldn't want it to be. I think it would still be a distraction for me.
Yeah, because you'd still have it in your mind.
Yeah. So I'd rather just have our clients. I'd rather our clients have my complete
for sure
attention, so but so I think what else do you want to talk about?
I have a whole list of stuff. I came prepared.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
I came somewhat prepared.
Yeah.
I have RX-7 update here.
Go for it. I'll talk about my stuff after.
Yeah, no, well, there's not much to update.
Yeah.
I gave it a clean. It still smells.
Does it really? Even for Febreze and stuff?
I didn't do the shampoo yet. I need to
test
on an inconspicuous area first and make sure it doesn't fade the color. Mind you, I've been thinking of just having the seats reupholstered.
But there's that dude that has the seats for sale, remember? So.
Does he want to sell them?
Yeah, of course. He has a whole car in parts.
Okay, I thought. Yeah, you never got back to me about that.
Yeah, I did. I said they were gray.
Oh yeah, they're gray.
Because what your color?
Because they're not in super bad shape. So I'm gonna try and shampoo them.
Okay.
And shampoo the entire thing because
I would say try to take them out.
Yeah, maybe.
Try to take the seats out for one. You can let them air out properly.
Well, yeah. Well, first,
and it'd also be good to clean the carpet without the seats in the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that, but I need to wait. Well, I need to get the car running first because the guy, will need a seat. I'm getting a bit annoyed.
Yeah, that's sort of the whole game. Everybody asks, it's basically goes back to him.
Yeah.
Because again, and the problem is that the issues with your car, you need somebody who knows the motors. It's not like, I got to plug up this or do an exhaust or do an intake. It's like, it's making sure that it's running, which is, I'm still going to look around to see if anybody else I know, but
yeah. No, so it's just annoying that I've been calling him, pretty much every week, and he tells me next week. So, we'll. But
I know how that feels.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's that's sort of the whole mechanics.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yikes.
Like it's not that it's their fault. It's just that they have tons of stuff, and if you have a client's car and it's like, okay, well, it's supposed to be done tomorrow, but then you run into like 3/6 bolts and you have to freaking get an extractor kit. Like, as they say, shit happens, right? So, and especially when you're working on old cars, like I've seen it, with, let's example with my truck, like last year when I brought it in, or the year before when I first got it. Oh, no, I only had it 2 years. To swap the original rad out. Well, I bought a rad that was supposed to fit, bolt on, didn't fit, bolt on. So then we had to order another one that would fit. It took a few days, and it was just.
Yeah. Anyways,
deal with modified cars.
Yeah. Well, hopefully I'll be able to get it there, and get it running, and then I'll be able to kind of
work on
take the seats out
on the aesthetics part of it.
I found a leak. Well, it was leaking into the trunk,
okay.
into the trunk hatch area. And it's pretty funny because inside the surround of the hatch glass, there's 2 drain holes, and they were completely plugged up.
Oh.
So I think the water was sitting there and it was seeping inside.
Did you try cleaning those drain holes out?
Yeah. Yeah, there was like a random. I think it was the an old throttle cable.
Yeah.
That I just shoved in and got all the crap out.
Nice.
They were full.
Yeah.
But then you look inside, like behind the behind the taillights.
Yep.
And you see like a plastic tube that goes into the bumper. So that's where it drains out.
Yeah.
It's pretty ingenious design because I noticed that after I washed the car, there was water sitting there, and I was like, I didn't think anything of it because I was doing other things. And then, once I opened it up and took all the crap that was in the trunk out, I noticed that the carpet was super soaked.
Wow.
So I was like, oh crap. So I start pulling it out.
Yeah.
I'll have to pull all the carpet out
You should
one day.
even check on eBay for like the rubbers.
What rubbers?
That goes around the hatch.
I'll have to look at that too.
Yeah.
They look in okay shape.
So then maybe not. Maybe they just need a.
Maybe they just need a clean and a refastening, or maybe you can put them on with adhesive or something like that. Because some of them are a bit loose. So
yeah,
I'll have to look into it. But
that's honestly the whole fun part about project cars.
Yeah.
Because again, like even with my truck, it's I know I'm gonna have stuff to fix on it all the time, and like things that I want to change on it all the time. Actually, I might as well talk about the truck then, since we're on the subject, because I don't remember if did I mention the whole thermostat issue on the last episode?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if it was on the episode, but you told me about it.
Okay, so then I will recap quickly. Yeah. Obviously, like I mentioned before, that I was having some slight heating issues.
Clearly.
Yes. No, but again, it's not like it was overheating. Yeah. It's that it was like it was getting hotter than I'd want it to. Those motors are supposed to run between basically, let's say 190 to 210 degrees. But I would rather it be cooler. And so a lot of people, what they do is they'll throw in a colder thermostat, so that way it stays, let's say, at the 190 mark when it's at operating temp.
Yeah.
And anyway, so I'm like, all right, you know what? Screw it. I'll just freaking change the thermostat.
Yeah.
Most likely, either the one I have in it is no good, or it's too high, or whatever. So I freaking, open up the thermostat housing, and obviously Prestone goes everywhere because that's what it does.
Yeah.
And I see that I don't have a thermostat in there at all.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, well, there's your problem, because the thing is that after some research, realized that you need a thermostat, because if not, your Prestone just cycles through the radiator without actually slowing down enough to get cooled by the rad.
Okay.
So, and now it sort of made sense, because it's not like the truck would just overheat one shot. It would just slowly get hotter and hotter and hotter, and that's because exactly it couldn't cool itself down.
Okay.
So went to the local CarQuest and picked up a thermostat for $4. Then I had to pick up a gasket for the housing, which was super cheap. Put it all back together, and it actually had solved the heating issue. Like I basically let it idle in my driveway for like a half hour, and it never went higher than 200. Which is good because, again, I put in a factory 190 or 195 thermostat. So being at 200 is basically perfect. But then driving it the next day, it actually climbed higher. But my mechanic told me it's most likely because I never bled the system. So most likely when I ended up filling up the Prestone back up, that I created an air pocket. And because he's like, from basically from one day to the next, then that's all you did most likely. Yeah, you just created an air pocket. I was like, all right, whatever. I'll bleed that at some point. But during this time, I decided to check my oil, and when I went to put the freaking dipstick back in, the dipstick wouldn't go back in the tube. I was like, what the hell? So I was fiddling around with it, and the tube popped out. I ended up figuring out that basically the tube was bent in a certain fashion due to my new headers, that it wouldn't actually slide through anymore.
Okay.
So I tried to bend it back a little bit, and I got it a little bit, and it went the dipstick slid a bit further in. Like, okay, I just need to, like one last little tweak. Well, I broke the dipstick, basically the part that goes inside the engine block.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, great. So then, I was on the search for no CarQuest, no Canadian Tire had a dipstick for a 5-liter in stock. Went to Ford, and it was like 2-week wait or whatever it was for and it was like $55 plus tax. So I went to my good buddies at Overdose Performance, and they actually were able to get me one basically the day after.
Nice.
A nice chrome dipstick. So get that in, go to put it in, doesn't fit. And it's not that the dipstick, it doesn't fit itself, but it's obviously because of my stupid swap headers that I have, that it needs like an extra bend to go around an area. And I didn't want to, I tried bending a little bit, but again, I don't want to snap it. So I decided to make a plug using the old dipstick tube, and a bolt, some silicone, and just plug the motor that way. And then when I bring the truck to AvFab, he can basically use an actual like pipey bender thing to contour it and not snap it in half. So yes, I'm running no dipstick now, but whatever. You only need a dipstick when you want to check your oil. So I'm actually okay. Yeah. And then that was so funny because I basically had the truck in terms of temperature running where I thought was pretty good. Like I drove it around a bunch, and it would never climb too high cruising around, especially like actually driving it was fine. Yeah. And then the other problem with the heating that I know is that I don't have a fan shroud. Okay. Like I have a big 14.5-inch fan, but no shroud, so it's
just going everywhere.
Exactly.
That's like one of our friends' old Mustangs.
Yeah.
It was a
yeah,
it was a dangerous thing.
And the thing is that what's funny is that like you need a shroud. Yeah. I had all my research. It's like no, like you're gonna like basically what happens is the fan's pulling in air from everywhere versus just sucking through the rad. Yeah. So basically, if once I put a shroud on it, my cooling issues will be solved. Yeah. As long as I don't have a radiator hose that pops in my face. But yeah. No, so besides that truck, I mean, like, and the truck always runs great. Like, so.
Yeah, well, they're pretty 302. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty.
Yeah. So I mean, besides that, I mean, once I get that figured out, she'll be good. Knock on wood. But yeah, and then I guess I'll go into some actual work stuff. Because I actually had a super busy week. Yeah. Last weekend was Midnight Madness. Midnight Madness, which is a new event done by the guys at Dark Horse Events. Okay. Who's the same dude that does Honda Fest, JDM Fest, stuff like that. And basically, it was a really cool idea of an event. Basically, it was an all-day drift, like, go have fun event and time attack event. Okay. Basically, they split the Autodrome up into two sections, like the road course and then the oval. Yeah. So the drift guys were on the oval and the time attack guys were on the road course. Yeah. Basically all day until 5. And then after 5, it was drag racing, 8th mile drag racing. Okay. And then the whole Midnight Madness where it comes in is that basically, I believe around 10 o'clock-ish.
Strippers. No.
Huge burnout competition. Okay. That had all the lights were off in the track, and it was lit up with like basically DJ lasers. Okay. So it was really cool. And then after that,
smashing into each other.
No, it was a burnout competition. So the cars, cars are just stopped there. Yeah. And then after that, it was like basically a party. Okay. So there was beer pong set up, badminton.
Okay.
And then one of the cool things was dodgeball on the racetrack.
Oh my god.
It was actually a lot of fun. And this is all done at like 11 o'clock at night, you know. And then the other cool thing was
it's a long day.
Yeah, it was a super long day, and I'll get to that after. But the other cool thing is that for all these people is that you're allowed to camp on the racetrack.
Oh, really?
So you can actually have your tent set up, you know, like on the oval or whatever, you know, and it made it for a very, very neat atmosphere, and definitely a really cool event. Like, I don't know how well it worked for the first event, but I think it's definitely going to be something cool in the future.
What was it called again?
Midnight Madness.
Midnight Madness.
Yeah, very cool.
This
but
is
yeah,
the first
yeah,
annual?
first ever one. Yeah,
first annual.
Yeah, first annual. But yeah, and yeah, like you said, it was a long day, but it was sort of funny because I was told to shoot from 11 till 1. The drift and time attack.
Okay.
And then come back around 9ish, and then to shoot the burnout competition and sort of some of the more like lifestyle-y stuff.
Okay.
And you lost.
Looking for something.
It's okay. Yeah. Anyways, but what ended up happening is that like with all the drift and time attack stuff going on, I basically just ended up staying till 5. I stayed until it was done because I was like, I don't want to miss anything. Like the drift thing was really cool. The time attack cars were pretty cool. I mean, the time attack side was a little more lean than it should have been because there was there's a solo sprint event going on at the same time. But it just happens with scheduling. But no, it was actually a really, really cool event. So I ended up staying and shooting way more than I was supposed to because I didn't want to really miss anything.
Yeah.
And then I came back for the bit of the drags. Actually came back earlier than I was supposed to because I wanted to shoot a bit of the drags. Mm-hmm. And then the burnout comp was just retarded. Yeah. Had one guy with a Suzuki Aveo blew his motor, like on purpose. Like he just basically just kept it there till it,
Suzuki Aveo. That's a little...
little hatchbacky weird thing.
Looking thing. Yeah.
And then we had two of the drift. Basically, there's a drift team called Team Beige. And these guys are awesome. They're from Gatineau, and they just don't care. Like their whole, it's basically just having fun, and their cars look like crap, but it's meant to be, right?
Okay.
And so they did a tandem burnout, 2 cars at a time, and then what ended up happening is that one car sort of veered off. Like they're supposed to, they're not moving, right? They're staying still, but one car sort of started to slide to the right, and he basically just kept it pinned and basically used his buddy's car as an anchor so he would stop moving. And then but funny. Basically he's into the quarter panel or fender of his buddy's car, and they're just smoking their tires like crazy. And I got a really cool shot where like there's, and again the smoke's all getting colored from the lasers. Yeah. And then I have a cool shot where you see the guy's back brakes basically like lit up on fire because obviously they're doing a burnout. Okay. Yeah, it was cool. And then we had like 3 guys with Civics try to do burnouts, like basically in a triangle, like was pushed into one guy's bumper. That was more sad than anything because. They don't have that much power. Like even with soaking wet tires on concrete can hardly spin. So sort of sad. Like it could have been cool, but no bueno. Yeah. But yeah, it's funny because we had an hour to do the burnouts, and there was actually more cars than there was time. Because obviously we still had a time limit because of time and lateness, and know. But I
mean, you're cramming that many events into one day. You're gonna have to be pretty.
Well, again, it had to do with noise, right?
True.
The noise has to stop by 11 at the track. So, but no, it was pretty cool. And then I had way too many photos to edit as usual. But I got through. Like I basically for this event, instead of editing everything like I usually do, I made selects and I went through I think 400 photos and posted those.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, and then basically around the same time, well, I think like basically the start of the week, I got a cool message on Facebook from Nissan Canada. That they want me back to do another shoot for another special vehicle that they're doing.
Cool.
And it's actually really hilarious because we still have yet to talk about. They've booked me, yet they still haven't talked about budget or price. So they don't care. So it's sort of cool because I like working with their marketing team. They're super down cool. I'll be working with the NV production crew for video.
Okay.
So that's gonna be fun.
Cool. When's that gonna happen?
End of the month-ish.
Oh, cool.
Of this month, but during the week, so it's good.
Cool.
And then I shot. I want to say Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday.
Some toys.
I went to Toys Auto Art and shot his new S-Class Brabus, basically the first in North America, I want to say, or something. At least the first in Canada for sure. Brabus, full Brabus S-Class convertible.
So what exactly is Brabus? I'm not
Brabus
familiar
is
with
the...
It's kind of like AMG sort of thing?
But it's higher.
Okay.
It's like the AMGG.
Okay.
Like it's like, it's...
AMGG.
MMGG. It's the higher end versions of Mercedes.
Okay.
And it
look pretty nuts.
It's a badass car. Like, and again, it's basically a trim package.
Okay.
But it also has, it's chipped. It has a whole, different ECU setup and suspension. And I think he's running, I don't know, I forget what kind of wheels, but they're super, super fancy.
Yeah. And that's client car or?
No, that's his.
Oh yeah, okay.
His car, but it's for sale type of thing. Like because that's what Toys does now. Is he will buy a brand new vehicle, modify it.
Okay, so they're selling them.
Yeah, pre-modified. Basically, for a lot of these, because a lot of these like rich, fancy people, they don't have time to like
They just want a.
They just want a cool car
because
they don't have time to like search for what wheels they want. They just want to. Okay, cool. This one looks good. I want it.
That's kind of like what the name's escaping me now. I'll have to look into it. But Urban Outlaw? No, not.
I don't know.
Something Outlaw. He does
the
Porsches.
Yeah. The guy with the dreads.
No, not him. But
doesn't he? Because he does the same type of thing. Yeah. Anywho, really cool. So I shot that. I also did a few photos of a Range Rover SRV. Just a few photos. And actually, funny enough, because I've been using Dropbox to give all the stuff to Toys, but I have nothing but problems with Dropbox in terms of always saying that my Dropbox is full or there's not enough storage, or it seems to transfer yet they can't see the photos. So I decided screw it and picked up. I ordered. I haven't gotten it yet, but a Western Digital My Book something or other. I don't know. I guess I should have remembered. But basically, what it is, it's a home-based Dropbox.
Okay.
So wirelessly, I upload the photos to this hard drive, and then I can send them links so that you can access it. So
it's kind of like I forget what it's called.
Yes.
Everything's escaping me now.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so that'll be good. So now for him, I can upload everything to my Jackbox, I'm going to call it, and then he'll have the access to access it anytime he needs it, and then it's perfect. And then there'll be I got a 2 terabyte for I think it's was about $200. But again, like you get 1 terabyte for $130 on Dropbox. So you got to pay that a year. So, I figured this is gonna be perfect.
Sharkworks.
Oh yes.
So they're kind of like Sharkworks.
Yes.
Well, from what I understand, you kind of send Joe Rogan actually.
But
bought his Porsche, sent it right, didn't even
Yeah.
see it, just like ordered it, sent it right to him. And they kind
it's
of
sort of the same, but for Toys, it's literally like he has an inventory of pre-modified cars.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Like so, these are not clients' cars. He technically owns them, and they're up for sale.
Okay.
Because he'll have like Brabus G-Class, the wagons are their SUVs.
Yeah.
Porsches, on HREs, and with like tech art kits and stuff like that. So basically, you want a modified Porsche, he has one. You want a modified Mercedes, he has one.
Yeah. So crazy.
Yeah, and it seems like it's working pretty well because he doesn't just sell them here, right? Like he
sells them all across the world.
Yeah, exactly. So if anybody wants a car, well then you can order
ship it overseas.
Yeah, because he has ads in DuPont Registry and stuff. So so that was actually a really fun shoot. We went to St. Joseph Oratory.
Okay.
Got some shots there. Did some rolling shots.
Cool.
Yeah, and again, that's the beauty of working with Toys Auto Art is that like his shoots have to be quick. Like if it takes longer than an hour, it's like he's fed up.
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing. That's it's dealing with clients, and I've been working with him for probably 12 years.
Yeah.
Ever since the Quebec Tuning Days, so I know how to work with him, and I know what he likes, and that's what's funny because I've had a few other photographer buddies of mine who have done shoots of his cars for other things, and he gets fed up.
Yeah.
Because again, like and I get
it's got to be if you're
especially if you're a business person, you don't want to be
business
waiting.
owner. You need to be.
Yeah, exactly.
And
so
I guess he doesn't want anyone else driving them because they're.
That's the thing.
They're crazy cars.
Yeah, so that's the thing, and that's what it is what it is. So I know what shots he sort of wants and what he likes, and I try to get it done as quickly as possible. So, which sort of sucks because these are some of the coolest cars I get to shoot. Yet I can't.
It'd be fun to have a lot of time with them.
That's the thing. I don't get I can't use lights. I can't. I haven't done a rig shot of one of his cars in a super long time because it takes time. It takes time to set up, and the only time I get to use lights is when I'm shooting in a showroom. But yet I'm shooting in a showroom, so it's not super great.
Just put it out there to him. I'll gladly drive the cars that he needs photos of.
Yeah,
I'll drive them around.
The thing is that even if it's one of his
piece.
assistants or whatever that's driving the car, he still needs the car back. You know, he still has other stuff to do. So But it's fun. I get to shoot some cool stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. If any of you haven't seen it, check out Jag Imaging on Instagram and see some of his some of the work that you
you can even just check out the Toys Auto Art.
Yeah, most of the stuff on their website too is
all my stuff.
Yeah.
No, it's really really
Toys
cool.
with a Z.
Yeah, toys. Yeah. And then what else do I have to talk about? And then obviously on my list is me catching on fire. Actually, something really, really neat is that I got my the new Guide de l'Auto book is finally out. The 2017, I guess, technically.
Cool.
I don't know.
Because you do it for the next
year,
I guess.
So that's really cool. This book is really, really nice. I shot 2 out of the 3 major comparos. Actually, I basically shot the 2 major comparos. They had 1/3 that they basically did this past winter with one of the journalists' buddies who's a photographer. He basically shot that because it was like a half a day thing. And I'm actually super happy with how it came out. Again, the graphic team does a super cool job of doing all the layouts, and pictures came out really, really wicked.
Cool.
So be sure to pick that up.
Yeah. Get me a copy.
No. And then I guess the last thing to talk about is this weekend. It's the Formula D Round 4. Well, Formula D Canada Round 4.
Okay.
Taking place at the Grand Prix Trois-Rivières.
Cool.
And that's been a whole freaking ordeal dealing with that because, again, since event is taking place during another event, I'm dealing with another media person and trying to coordinate like our stuff with their stuff. But the problem is that last year was seamless, who we dealt with, but this year we dealt with somebody new who really didn't know like the procedures of what we had to get done. Because basically last year was our media did the application, I sent them a list, and boom, they were approved. That way it was done. Because obviously it's the Grand Prix Trois-Rivières is a major racing event, so they're super strict with their media access.
During that event?
Yeah.
Is Formula Drift Canada?
Well, basically the Grand Prix Trois-Rivières is 2 weekends.
Okay.
First weekend is drift and rallycross.
Okay.
Second weekend is like the other stuff, the Canadian touring car, the NASCAR, Canadian NASCAR, and possibly something else. Okay. But yeah, it's a huge, it's 2 weekend long now. And what's neat is that obviously we drift on the road course, which is very different for us. Yeah. But yeah, so it was a pain. At the start, it was a pain dealing with this other person, getting stuff organized because again, since we had just finished round 3, like we were still finishing up that to get organized for the new round, and so it ended up being a little more last minute than I would have liked. To get everybody to fill out their media forms, but it all worked out in the end. The girl that's doing media, she helped out a lot. So, but yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited, not excited, because shooting this event is always tough. Because since it's a road course, if you want to change spots, you literally have to walk around and find a place to cross, and so it's like you have to really gauge your shooting positions. Yeah. And what sort of sucks is that last year we had a certain layout, so by the end of the weekend, we the media crew knew where to shoot was good spots. Mm-hmm. This year it's backwards. What's very cool is that this year they are doing 2 layouts. Okay. Competition layout and demo layout. So that way when the people let's say in the top 16 get knocked out, well, they don't have to pack their stuff up and go. Mm-hmm. There's going to be a demo layout so they can just have fun drifting and basically put on a show for the fans. Yeah. But the thing is, I don't get to shoot the demo stuff because I got to concentrate on the event, obviously. Yeah. But it also means that since they're driving on a different layout, all the spots that I knew that were going to be cool are not going to be cool or maybe won't be good. Okay. So anyways, it'll be just a whole new learning experience. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And that's basically it. So I have to be careful about my face to not catch fire. And wear my old man glasses and my floppy hat. And
please take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that brings us to the end.
I think so. I think I rambled on for a lot, but I had a big list. So.
Yeah, no, it's good. Get well, rest up, and thanks for listening, everyone.
Yay.
And we should be back next week, I would imagine, with another exciting episode of Shutter Count.
Peace.
Goodbye.